Hi everyone, and welcome to your pre-recorded video for this week as I am enjoying some time with Natalie in Florida. So I have decided to get this ready for you in advance and prior to I leave, and I'm going to be sharing with you an amazing bundle from our mini catalog. So let me show you what I'm going to be sharing with you, and then we're going to do some of the sharing stuff. I'm still going to be sharing my awesome video with all of you. But tonight I'm going to be sharing with you the Nature's Sweetness product suite. And I did not grab all of the product out to actually show you in person, but I'm going to bring the picture up really fast here so you guys can see it, and really close, I should say. But you can see all this beautiful neutral themed designer series paper. And this is what they kind of call a mega suite. It includes two different bundles. So you have the Lovely and Sweet bundle, and then you have the Notes of Nature bundle. Other products that are part of this suite that you're going to be seeing me use tonight are these awesome little adhesive-backed cork rounds, and then some of this really, I love this this twine stuff. It's called the gold 1/8 inch faux leather trim, and it's looks like leather, but it's etched in gold, and I'll show you that here in a little bit up close. But this is the product suite that I'll be sharing with you tonight, and this is actually one of my classes for the month of February that will be opening up for registration here soon. I just need to take the time to get it opened and get it posted out there for all of you. But I love this product suite. So before we dig into the cards and everything for tonight, why don't we do a little bit of sharing? So you guys know if you share my video, you get into the drawing for prizes. And I have two prizes up for grabs that were from last week if you shared. And I have two winners. So the winner of these adorable little adhesive-backed heart and flowers is Courtney Ostendorp. So congratulations to Courtney. And the winner of the Night of Navy ribbon is Peggy Barth. So congratulations to Peggy and to Courtney. Ladies, I will get those out in the mail to you probably not until next week, I'll be honest, since I'm out of town right now. Up for grabs this week. So if you share my video, basically if you share the post where I have this out and you share share the post onto your page, or you comment on my YouTube video where it's out there at, either one of those ways will get you into the drawing to win one of these awesome prizes. I have the Petal Pink and Pretty Peacock foiled gems. They go with one of the product suites that I showcased a couple weeks ago. And then I also had the adhesive backed lightning and stars that go with the these go with the rock and roll product suite, which I did design some cards with that. So hopefully I'll have time to feature that on one of my upcoming Facebook Lives. So a little bit of an update as I'm getting all of my products around for this. Most of you know that Claire had her solo ensemble this last weekend. She scored a 1, which means she advances from our district competition on to the state competition. And then the night that I'm doing this recording is Monday night, and she competed tonight in a women's club scholarship that they do for a music scholarship, and she came in second place and was awarded a scholarship for $600 that she's going to keep and use towards college when she gets there in a couple years. She'll actually probably be dual enrolling as a high school senior next year in some music classes. So really stoked and excited for her. She was so worried that she did poorly, but she did phenomenal and came in second place. So that was awesome. And the person who came in first place was one of her really good friends in the orchestra. Her name is Abigail, and she plays the violin. So they were very happy for each other and very appreciative for each other. So that was kind of cool to see. So these are some of the products that are part of that product suite. These are the little cork rounds, the adhesive-backed cork rounds, and they literally look like little corks, little like corks that you'd have like in wine bottles, and they're actually kind of spongy and soft, so I really like them. And this is that faux leather trim, so I'm going to kind of bring it up here so you guys can see it a little bit up closer. Can you see the little bit of gold sparkle to it? It was a little bit hard to use, so hopefully I'm going to give you some ideas and ways in which you can use this in your card making. Now, if you do put in a $35 order from now through Sunday night, you will receive 3 of these cards in the mail already made. However, you also have the option of purchasing this class when my link registration opens for you to be able to do that. Those of you attending my in-person class on February 19th, this is one of the options for you to be able to make. Okay, and I promise that I will be sharing with you guys some of the pictures and things and all of the awesome stuff I'll be doing and sharing with you about with Natalie while I'm visiting her with my friend Dawn. So excited to be able to be packing, and hopefully by the time you guys see this, I'm there and happy to see her and posting pictures of all of our fun times. So the first card that I'm going to share with you showcases that designer series paper that I talked about really, really well. Now, some of the colors in that designer series paper, you can see you got some gold in there. So that designer series paper has in it, there are 12 sheets, double-sided. Oh, it doesn't give me the names of the colors. Usually it does. And like I said, I didn't pull all of this product because I kind of forgot and just decided to sit down and start doing my video for you before I move on to my next task. But a lot of the colors in it are like copper clay. There's a wild wheat, pebbled path, and then some gold. Okay, so you're going to kind of see all those colors coming out in my presentation for you tonight with these cards. So the first one we're going to do is this awesome one right here. And so for this, I actually used the pecan cardstock. So this is trying to think of the actual name for it, something pecan, starts with a P. I just can't remember it. But this is the pecan cardstock, and you can see the little strips of designer series paper. So one side of it has like the gold foil. The other side has these awesome little strips that match and coordinate with all of the card pieces and colors that are in this paper and in the designer series paper. Okay, so here you can see I just added some strips. They're all different sizes down onto this. Now, if you purchase the class, you do get the tutorial emailed to you for free. All of my classes now come with typed up tutorials, and the tutorials also include the list of all the supplies that I used to create the cards. So you'd be able to purchase anything that you might need to be able to do the cards on your own. And I'm going to start by adhering the little pieces of paper down to the sides first, because that just makes it so much easier for me then to center the gold strip down the middle. So you can see here I'm just adhering these down, and I'm leaving a little bit of the quarter edge all the way around so that you can kind of see the cardstock there. And then we're going to adhere down the gold strip. So the gold strip's going to go down right in the middle. You're just going to kind of center that in there, and so that way you have the same amount of space between all three of those strips, okay? From there, I have a piece of basic white cardstock, and my glue is getting on it. And then I have a piece of the pretty, is it pretty pecan? I don't remember. No, it's pretty peacock. I'm not remembering what my pecan is. I'm going to have to look because it's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to go look, you guys. I'm driving me nuts. Pecan. You guys who know this are probably laughing at me. Pecan pie. There we go. Pecan pie. All right, now I feel better. Okay, so this is the pecan pie cardstock. I know you guys are laughing at me, but you're getting the true me right now. And so this is a cut 1/4 of an inch smaller. And it's going to adhere down to my basic white perfectly. And then we're just going to adhere that on with some dimensionals. Now, I did emboss this with one of the embossing folders. I believe this is one of the basic embossing folders that came out a while ago. I'm just not remembering which ones. I did this so long ago. And when I create these cards, I'm always creating a month in advance. So I just finished creating all my cards for the month of March so that they can be cut while I am gone. So March is being worked on. So, you know, when you do that so far in advance, you just kind of forget. This is just going to get adhered down at an angle like that. And this is the part that I love. This is the stamped version of one of those flowers from the Lovely and Sweet stamp set. So you can see it right, let me bring it in right there. You guys see that? Make sure it focuses. And I love that. It's a die, coordinating die to cut that out. And so that I'm just going to adhere down, and I just used my seal to adhere that down. I did not actually use dimensionals since I had dimensionals on this strip. And then I have the congratulations. Again, all of the stamped images are from the 2 stamps. I either use the Notes of Nature or I use the Lovely and Sweet. Okay, so either one of those, and they have coordinating dies that go with them. And so I used the congratulations on a 1/4 inch, actually on a 1/2 inch strip of cardstock. And then we're just going to adhere that down with some dimensionals as well. So I'm just going to add a dimensional to both ends of this. So one here and one there. And then we're just going to adhere that down here like this. And I kind of made it flush with the Designer Series paper on there. And then embellish it with some of these awesome little round corks. So they are adhesive backed. So when you pick them up, you want to make sure that you have the adhesive with it, because been there, done that a couple times and not had it with it. And I'm gonna adhere a couple of them there. And then I used the faux leather trim. So here's the faux leather trim. And all I did on that was tied a little knot and then glued it on with a glue dot. So yes, this would be a little bit of a lump. So if you didn't want to do that, you could. But again, if you push this down pretty good, you get a pretty good flat knot. And I'm just going to trim this off. And it cuts really, really easy, even though it looks like it might not. It does. And then we're going to adhere that on with a dimensional right down to the bottom of my stem on this awesome flower here. So I'm just going to get a glue dot, put it over top of the knot, and I'm going to adhere that down here like that. And voila, we have our first card done. Isn't that so cool and so quick and simple and easy? I love that one. Okay, the next card I'm going to share with you and showcase for you is this one right here, where it focuses in on the copper clay. So this focuses in on the copper clay more than the pecan pie. And I also paired it with some of the pebbled path. So I really like these colors together in this product suite. It's kind of a unique one and a little outside the normal of all of the bright colors that we have with our flower stamp sets. So here I have a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the copper clay, and that's just going to adhere down on top of my pebbled path card base. And then I have some of that awesome Designer Series paper. You can see I have a little piece right here. Look at that. That's the pebbled path with some gold like scripty stuff in it. So we're just going to adhere this down to the card like this, and just kind of picking a spot. And then I have a piece of the basic white. This is one of the stamps, and I just stamped it 4 times using the copper clay ink, just to get a little bit of a background there. And then this is going to get adhered down as well. My adhesive's giving me a little bit of grief here. Can you guys tell that? So I'm just going to adhere this down like this. And I'm just kind of estimating where I want it to go. And then I have another little piece of Designer Series paper that I'm going to glue right across the bottom here. And then this is going to go right in the middle here with dimensionals. So kind of a neat little concept, right? So I'm just going to adhere this strip of Designer Series paper. It's a 1 1/4 by 4 inch strip. And I'm just going to kind of layer it down here like this. And then this is one of the leaves from the stamp set, and we're going to put that on with a couple of dimensionals. It is stamped in the copper clay ink. So I'm just going to put a couple dimensionals on there. And I'm going to drop the flower, so I have to pick it up. That's what I get, right? There we go. Okay, so I had to pick it up. Yep, I dropped it all the way on the floor. And then this is just going to kind of stick on here like that. So far, so cool, right? And then I have just a little note to say hello. And yes, that is a saying from the stamp set. And we're just going to trim this up a little bit to make it about the same size as the card itself is. So normally I would actually cut this. Oh, we're pretty close right there in advance, but when it's an exact measurement. But you guys know me in strips. I normally don't do that, right? All right, I'm gonna add 3 dimensionals to this just because. And then you're gonna wanna make sure that you can see where I added a little bit of that faux trim. So we're just going to add the faux trim, and I put it on top of some adhesive. So I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive down here first, and then we're just going to make a loop like this, and I'm going to cut this off. And if you don't want to use the faux trim, you don't have to. I just thought a little bit of it added a little bit of nice, little nice feature to it. I'm just gonna kind of add a loop here. I may have made that one a little bit bigger, but that's okay. And then we're just gonna take off the dimensional backings off of my little note here. And I'm just going to, let me make sure I bring this back down because I do want those to be seen. I'm just gonna put this right across here like this, and those dimensionals will go right across that little faux trim piece right there. What do you think? Is that not the coolest thing? Final thing I did is, you guys did, I embellished the card with some of the little cork rounds. So I'm gonna add one there and one right here, and voila. Gorgeous, right? Okay, so that is card number 2. The next card that I'm going to share with you and showcase is this one right here that uses another different stamp from the stamp sets. So this one says "So Sorry." It's a great little sympathy one or get well one, or just if someone's lost, even a loss of a pet. I love the "So Sorry" for loss of a pet as well. So what I did in advance with the stamp set, that is this one right here, the stamped image, I stamped around the outer edges of a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 Pebbled Path cardstock. And I did that to kind of give it a little bit of a look like it's its own designer series paper. Again, I did not do the inside, I skipped the middle because we're just going to be covering that up anyway. And so there's really no need to have to really worry about that being visible because no one's going to see it. All right, the next thing I did is I cut a piece of this awesome designer series paper. And if you wanted to, you could put that side down, but I chose to use the Pebbled Path. And that's gonna go right in the middle so you can see where you can't see the middle. So why would you waste the ink and the time? Unless you need the practice with stamping. I'm just gonna adhere that down right to the middle like this. And then I have another piece of this little one. You can see that I did not go all the way through because you're gonna hide some of that anyway. So a little piece of this paper is gonna go right there on the end. This is the same one that I used on my previous card. So I'm just gonna add this right here. And then in advance, I stamped the "So Sorry." So hopefully you're getting a little bit of a different idea and technique of cards and layouts with just using designer series paper in unique ways, especially when they're not too patterned and they're kind of plain and stuff. And this is just going to get adhered onto the card. You can see here that I also did in fact add some of that faux trim. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to make my little loop here, and I'm going to adhere it down to this piece right here, and I'm just going to trim it off. And again, we can make it shorter if we need to. And then this will just get adhered down right on top of it like that using some dimensionals. So let me get some dimensionals added to this. Quick, simple, easy peasy card. Just using some little scraps and pieces of designer series paper, and you can see how stamping around the outer edge of a cardstock, so basically it's stamped what I call color on color, or there's a name for that as well, but basically it's using the same color ink pad as the color of cardstock. And so I stamped with the Pebbled Path onto the Pebbled Path cardstock, and I'm just going to adhere this down onto my card like this, and voila. Final step, you guessed it, adding on these awesome little cork rounds makes it look very country, to me it just kind of finishes the card off. So I'm just going to add a couple over here. On this one I used 2 of the bigger ones. So I'm just going to add 2 of these bigger ones, well, after it sticks to my nail. I really need to find where my Take Your Pick tool goes. I have both of my caddies here and it's not in there, so I need to find where it is. All right, so there you have that card. I know, right? We're cruising right along tonight. So hopefully you guys are following along with me and enjoying. I know it's not the same as me being live with you, but I still like to be able to provide you guys with some kind of inspiration. So this card, I have to tell you, Wild Wheat was not my favorite cardstock color when it first came out, but it is really growing on me. It pairs nicely together with Pebbled Path, and it also pairs together nicely with the Pretty Peacock. So for this card, I have a piece of the Pebbled Path card base, and then I have a layer of the Wild Wheat 5 1/4 by 4, followed by a piece of Pebbled Path 5 by 3 3/4. And then that is embossed with that same embossing folder that I've been using. Just gives it a little bit of a country look. And, whoops, I don't think you want the back of my little scissors in front of you. I'm just going to adhere these together. Now this card, I did not use any ribbon. I did not think this card even needed ribbon. And I just love how quick and simple this one was to put together. I did use the Stylish Shapes dies. I believe those are from the Stylish Shapes to get that awesome little arrow there, to get the little stitched edge look to that. This one has a piece of paper or DSP that goes right down the middle here. So I am going to adhere that down. I also like the back side of this. Look at that. Looks like newspaper, but it's got like gold splashes on it. So it's kind of cool. So this I'm just going to adhere down to the center of my piece of paper here. And then I have the Today is All About You, Happy Birthday. That's going to go on with some dimensionals. Again, that is one of the Stylish Shapes, I do believe. And it comes, when you cut it out, it automatically gives it that awesome little stitched edging around the edges of the banner piece. So sometimes if I feel ambitious to get my dies out, you can get the dies out and actually have some fun with them. All right, so here's that little leaf again. You remember that leaf I used on my second card? This time I'm going to use it onto this piece, and I'm going to go like this with it. So it's kind of like upside down, back, or one goes up, facing up, one faces down. And then I have this real little flower that I put right here in the middle to kind of offset that. Isn't that really, really cool? I love how that kind of came together. And for that, I used the Pebbled Path ink. And then I dropped my dimensionals. So yes, you guys, I'm really not with it tonight. It is, like I said, Monday night at about 10:15 when I'm doing this video for you guys. But I want to be able to get it uploaded and ready, so I'm not worried about it once I leave. So I fly out on Wednesday. So again, when you are watching this video, I will already be there, but I fly out Wednesday afternoon. And so as you guys can guess, I'm in full swing trying to get everything done. I also have my team meeting on Tuesday, so I just finished packing for that. And yeah, so that way I will be good to go. And after I'm done with the video, the last thing on my list tonight is to pack for the trip. So whew, I'm getting there. I'm getting all my stuff done. All right, final thing on this card is to add some of those little cork rounds to it. And again, you can add them wherever you would like to add them. You can see I added one. Well, that one decided to want to go there, so I'm just going to let it. I'm just going to let it go there. One's going to go there. One's going to go here. And I'm not going to add any more, but you could add as many of those as you want to. And they just add a nice little touch. So isn't that a cute little card and a neat way to use those little leaves and just add a little flower to the center of it? Love how that one turned out a lot. Okay, so my last card that I'm going to be sharing with you all is this one right here. So this one, again, uses the other stamped image from the set, and I used basic white for my card base for this one. Now this stamp, or this card, I used a lot of stamped images from the Notes of Nature. You can see I did some background stamping here on the this piece. I did the little background stamp on there, so that we're going to go ahead and adhere on. This is a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of that Wild Wheat again, so I'm just going to adhere that down. And then I have some little pieces of cardstock, or actually some pieces of Designer Series paper. We're just going to adhere these down close to each other here, and just going to kind of give you a little bit of a different look, and you can still see some of that stamped image over there. So let me add some adhesive down to this, and then this is going to go right flush against this 5 1/4 by 4 mat, and then we're going to do the other one and do the same thing And this one's going to go right flush against that. Ta-da! Okay, and again, using the Stylish Shapes, I have a circle here with the little stitched edging around it. I used one of the stamps, the background stamps from the Notes of Nature. That's going to get put on there with some dimensionals. So let me bring those in again. So I'm just going to put 3 dimensionals on the back of this and put this on here like that. And then in advance, again, I've cut this, or I've stamped this with the wild wheat, cut it out with one of the dies. This is going to get put onto my card. You can kind of have it go any way that you want, but that went on with dimensionals. Oh, and I forgot to put my stuff on there, but you guys get the idea there. You would put some of that faux trim the exact same way that I've done on the other cards tonight, so I am not gonna take that off and go backwards because you guys kind of know how to do that. But look how that just kind of gave it a little bit of a look back there and filled in some of the space. And then the final thing I have here is the little, just a note, little note to say hello. So I'm going to trim this off just a little bit. I want it to be about the same size as, whoops, so maybe a little bit more. I want it to be the same size as going across, so I want it to be 4 inches. So if you were cutting that with your, I use scraps, you guys. So a lot of times when you're cutting off, you're making mats and stuff, you have these awesome little strips that are either this size or a 1/2 inch. So that's why I use strips a lot, because it uses up my scraps. So it's just an easy way to add a little sentiment on too. So the final thing is to add a couple of the little cork rounds to this. And the final thing then would have been to put that twine on, but you guys know how I did that just by looping it up and around. So yeah, those are my cards for you guys tonight. Now let me bring all of them in again and tell you how you can get these cards. This is going to be a class that I'm offering this month of February into the first part of March. So you can sign up for the class when it opens up. Those of you that are part of my order-based club, my old club, this can be one of your choices for the month, or it will be one of your choices for the month that you can pick from. And then the other way to get your hands on a couple, well, probably 3 of these cards, is if you put in a minimum $35 order with me from now through Sunday. And the host code's on my website at kimsbasementbunch.com. If you have not joined my mailing list, please do. That's where I've really been promoting and putting out all of my information so that you guys have access to it and know what's kind of going on and all those good things. So anyway, again, if you've watched me to the end, thank you so much. And I'm sorry that I couldn't be live with you all tonight, but I'm eagerly excited to be leaving, and I'll be back with Natalie by the time you guys see this video on Thursday. I will share with you how she's doing, how her trip is, post pictures as I can. There are some things that I'm not able to post, so please know that that's just part of the process, but I will definitely share what I can and give you guys an update when I get back. And also wish Claire good luck, because she now has her orchestra concert tonight, Thursday night. So 7 o'clock is her concert. Thank goodness for her dad, who's able to go to that and be able to see her, because I told him he has to record her now because I won't be able to go to that. But anyway, so she's playing in her orchestra concert, which is, they do that like once every 2 or 3 months, and it's part of her class requirement. And I'm telling you, that little girl on that cello, we're going to go places. I'm so proud of her with how hard she works at that, how religiously she practices. I tell her she deserves all of the awards that she gets, all the recognition that she gets. But she's so hard on herself and underestimates herself. And I'm like, sweetie, you work hard for it. You deserve it. So anyway, lots of stuff going on with her for her cello playing over the next little bit here. So keep you posted as she, like I said, she's got a 1 on her districts, and she heads to states on March 16th. So I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop on how all that goes. All right. Thank you all so very much for joining me tonight and for letting me provide you with a pre-recorded video to still inspire you and keep you stamping and ideas of what you can do with this awesome bundle. If you want to purchase this bundle, you can also do that online at my online store. There's a link to order right off of kimsbasementbunch.com, or you can message me. Happy to put the order in for you. But I do indeed love how these cards turned out for something a little bit unique and different than the normal like colorful cards when you use floral stamp sets. All right, thanks everyone for joining. Again, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll be back live with you all next week for more updates and inspiration. Bye everyone.